morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm coming back to my story. I was at the section of things I would have said. So I thought I had finished them, but there's quite a few more that I remembered. And it's just things I would have said over the years that people took offense to, and they treated me with impunity about it. Yeah, I found myself repeating. I was repeating myself a bit in the previous video about the way people were looking at me and why they were looking at me like this. So I'll try not to repeat myself again in this video. So these are the things I would have said in the past 7 years while people were looking and listening at me, and they thought that I was a pedophile or rapist, or they think that I'm a pedophile or rapist, 2 times, an armed robber, a criminal, a druggie, and a pervert. So while people were looking at me as these things, these are the things they would have heard me say. I'll try not to say it again. Anyway, another one was about chicks, you know, talking with your mouth full. Don't you know, talk with your mouth full, you know. It was a joke about getting a head job from a woman, you know. Hey, don't talk with your mouth full, you know. And people took offense to that. The people that are watching and listening to me, all part of the system. They would have heard me call someone or joking around about a bald motherfucker, you know, a panjlan. A panjlan in South Africa, I think they call it, I'm not sure, panjlan. When we were kids, we used to like lick our hand and want to hit someone on the head, you know, because they had a bald head or a shaved head. So they would have heard me talking about a bald motherfucker. I would have also said something about four-eyed motherfucker, you know. Someone wearing glasses, fucking four-eyed motherfucker. And another thing I would have said was, hey, he's clenching the soul, you know. Hey, the soul's clenching, you know, clenching. It just means like, I don't know, kind of like he's worried or nervous or scared, you know. The soul's clenching, you know. Bloody clenching, mate. I love the sound of the birds, you know. You know, when you wake up in the morning and stuff like that. You know, and you hear the birds singing, it's all nice and calm outside, beautiful day, and the birds are chirping. But this one with the birds, I'll get back to the story on this one. Because after this video and these stories, I'm gonna tell you how the system treats me because of all these things I said. I used to talk about loving the sound of the birds. I used to talk about finding calm and serenity, you know, within yourself and in the environment around you, you know, for our happiness and our health. I used to talk about that. Another thing I would have said was, you know, someone with a chick with acne or whatever on your face and this and that, and you know, she looks a bit rough, mate. She's a bit rough, they say in Australia, about a woman if she's not that hot, you know. Like if you were with the boys, we would have said, you know, something like, I've got something to clear that right up, you know. Like talking about coming on your face, kind of, you know. That kind, you know, I've got something to clear that right up. How about a cum shot? Something like that, you know. Just stupid stuff. And another thing I would have said was, like at work we go, like if you've done something wrong, we'll say something like, fuck, the boss is going to tear you a new arsehole, mate. You're going to get torn a new arsehole, mate. Fuck that. Good luck to you, mate. You know. So I'll tell you again, that wouldn't have went down too well with people accusing me of being an arse rapist for my ex-wife and Charlene and that, you know. Because people were looking at me as that, and they heard me say these things. I didn't have a clue that they were looking at me as a rapist, pedophile, pervert, peeping Tom and criminal and all that. And they've been listening to me over the years say these things. But just joking with my friends or myself. A lot of these things I just said to myself. Because the system can hear what I'm saying. I'll get to it later anyway. I'll get to it later. I'm trying not to confuse people or myself. Another thing I would have said was, fuck, look at his face. Did you see his face? You know, just joking about someone when they looked a little, what can I say? When they looked a little worried or scared, you know. Another thing I would have said, stop being a frigid cunt, you know. Talking about someone being a bit of a stiff, or when you're talking about something they don't want to talk about it. Another thing I said was, when I saw a lady or something, I think one time, I said, oh, I love the way you sip your coffee, you know, or I love the way you drink your water, or I love the way you sip your tea. You know, it's like, I love the way you sip your tea. You know, this was what I was thinking to myself. It's not something I would say to a lady. But people are looking at me as a deviant and a pedophile intention or my person. And kind of a deviant with women, you know. So when I was saying this, something like this, oh, I love the way you sip your coffee, they literally thought that I'm looking at the actual way she's sipping her coffee and taking notice of everything, you know what I mean? But in a deviant manner, I'm not sure which is the right word, deviant or deviant manner, in a deviant manner, you know. They think I'm looking at women in a derogatory kind of way, in a perverted sense, you know. It's unbelievable. That's why I'm telling the story, because I can't believe everything that's happened. And I was joking about a woman as well. The women that are listening to me through the system, I think, took it a little personal, all the stuff. But I mean, why are you listening to me if you're going to take it personally, you know? It's okay to take it personal, but it's not okay to treat me like a bastard because you don't like something I said that you weren't supposed to hear. Anyway, and one thing I would have said, another thing I would have said was, you're going to get fat anyway, you're going to get stretch marks. You're going to get stretch marks, you're going to get fat. You're going to be tired and you'll get no sleep. I was just joking about women, you know, and having babies and stuff. Another thing I would have said was, hey, okay, so you know what I'm saying? Walk around like you got a 10-inch dick, man. And I thought that was the funniest thing I've ever heard. I heard it in a Ben Stiller movie one day. So I thought it was pretty cool. And in my life, in about 2014, you know, these people that were invading my privacy. In my life in 2014, I thought to myself, hey, I said to myself, I'm winning in life, you know what I'm saying? I got a good job. I'll always have a good job because I've got a trade, I'm a boiler maker welder. My life is fine, I can do what I want. I don't have the responsibilities of my kids at the moment. You know what I'm saying? So in my mind, I was winning in my life. Good job, this and that, and I also said something like, I'll always earn more money than you. You know what I'm saying? Regardless of what you do. But I thought I was winning in my life, and that's how I felt in my life at the time, 2014. It's quite ironic because at this time in 2014, when I had said that to myself, people were already making my life 10, 20 times harder. Everything I was doing in my life, people orchestrated it. And they were contradicting the way I do things. And I was still walking through life, believing that I'm winning in life. I didn't know that they had made my life 10 times harder. I mean, that's how I walk through life, you know. I take it easy and I get over stuff. They bully me now about winning after they've taken everything away from me. I'll get to that after this video. Another thing I would have said, like joking about, you know, to keep a woman happy. You know, there's 3 things you got to say. I'm sorry, I love you, and it's my fault. That's all you have to do. I'm sorry, I love you, and it's my fault. That's it. She'll always be happy. But it was a joking thing, you know. Anyway, so now that I've got all the things I would have said out of the way, I'm going to come back and tell you how the system treats me because of all these things I've said. Okay. So I'll do it on a separate video. Only 11 minutes. Cool.